Hello, welcome to 12.1 day 2. Here are your examples for today. This is our problem of the day. So as always, we are going to split our problem in half. We are escalating the amount of difficulty with these problems. When there are parentheses, we need to get rid of them first, and you have to do that by distributing the number that's on the outside. And the number on the outside over here I see is -4. So I'm going to distribute that to both numbers on both terms on the inside. And when we say distribute, we mean multiply. So I'm going to bring that 5x down because I'm not going to do anything to it. 5x, and now -4 times 5x is -20x. And -4 times +3 gets me a -12 equals, bring down that 48. Okay, next step. I'm going to combine like terms. So I'm going to combine that 5x and that -20x. So I have signs are different, so I'm going to subtract 15x and keep the sign of the bigger number, which is 20, so it's going to be -15, and I got -12 equals 48. Next step, I am going to get rid of the constant near the variable. So I'm going to make a zero pair with that -12. Opposite of -12 is a +12. +12, let's say +12. Okay, those cancel. I'm left with -15. X equals 48 plus 12. 8 plus 2 is 10, so I carry the 1. 4 plus 2 is 60. Okay, last step. We're going to divide both sides by -15. Divide by -15. These cancel. Left with x equals 60 divided by 15 is going to get you 4. And a negative divided by a positive is a negative. So -4. Final answer. Okay, now it's your turn. You guys are going to be finding the mistake in this problem that is very similar to the problems I did over here. Very similar. So pay attention. If you're following along with what I did and you got it, hopefully you can follow this one and see where they went wrong. Please do this on Nearpod right now. All right, welcome back. There are a few mistakes in this problem, so let's walk through them. If you were a little overwhelmed with how big they are, just take it one step at a time. So we have 2x, they weren't going to do anything with that. They were supposed to distribute this -3 to both terms on the inside. So -3 times -2 does get us -6x, great. So now -3 times +4 should got us, it should have got us -12. -12, so that's one mistake. So a -12 and then 24. Good job. Okay. Next, what did they do here? So they went from 2x minus 6x to +4. Well, if I have 2x's and then lost 6 of them, I wouldn't have a +4. I lost more x's than I had. So that should be not a +4, but that should have been a -4, and then again they messed up here, so this should have been a -12. So then instead of subtracting 12 from both sides, what should they have done? They should have added 12 to both sides, which this would have got them 36, and this would have been what? Oh, -4, -4, -4. And 36 divided by 4. 36 divided by 4 gets you 9. And a positive divided by a negative is a negative. So it's going to be, instead of 3, it's going to be -9. All right, so there were two mistakes that happened there. It was here and here. So those were the two mistakes. Hopefully you found those, and these are getting a little easier for you. All right, today in the Pythagorean Theorem world, we are going to be finding the Pythagorean Theorem for a 3D box. So we're going to be finding the Pythagorean Theorem in 3D. So again, we're going to be identifying the length, width, height, and the diagonal in the box. So imagine you got an Amazon package and they were trying to fit, they were trying to fit what? What is long and skinny and they try to fit the biggest, I don't know, ruler. You'll put a ruler in there. Maybe you were trying to buy maybe you're trying to buy a lightsaber, and it had to fit diagonally because the longest biggest space you can get is a diagonal in a box. So this is how you can fit something fit something bigger than just going straight across. So the lightsaber's in the box. We need to figure out how big of a lightsaber we can buy to fit in this box. So yesterday you learned that a squared plus b squared equals c squared. We're going to change around that equation just a little bit for you, so that way we are going to solve this all in one step. There's another way you could do this, and you could do your same a squared plus b squared equals c squared, but you'll have to do it twice, because what you'll end up doing is you would find the hypotenuse of this triangle, and then you'd be finding the hypotenuse of this triangle to find that r. So you'd be doing two separate math problems, and we all know we don't want to work harder, right? We're going to work smarter. So I'm going to show you, we're going to put these all in one equation, and there's an example of it on your homework. I think this is your homework. Here we go. So if you ever get confused, here's the example on your homework. So we're going to do length squared plus width squared plus the height squared is going to get us that diagonal we want, that one that goes right down the middle. So let's go back to our notes. So we said length squared plus width squared plus height squared equals, that looks like a smiley face, equals r squared. Now the r could be anything. You can name it d for diagonal if you want. You could name it c still if you want. But we're just going to get the dimensions of the box, square them all, and then we'll end up having to take the square root, and that's going to get us this together. All right, so I need the length of the box. Now, if you get confused on which one's height, width, length, I don't know if like this one doesn't have length, width, and height. All you need is all the dimensions of the box. So, and usually I think they're only going to give you 3 dimensions. Like there's only 3. That's it. Look, there's 3. Height, width. It doesn't matter which order they go in. I can do like 6, 6, 20. I could do 26, 6. I can just switch it up. It doesn't matter. Okay. Doesn't matter which order they're in. I can rewrite these all if I wanted. Doesn't matter. So I'm just going to go from left to right. We got 26, 6. So we got 20 squared plus 6 squared plus 6 squared equals r squared. Okay. Well, let's see. Let's get to 20 times 20. Remember, squared, you multiply them to each other. Gets us 400. So we got 400, and 6 times 6 is 36, so plus 36 plus 36 equals r squared. Okay, now let's add all these together. Remember, work smarter, not harder. Let's get that calculator out. So 400 plus 36 plus 36 gets me 472. So I got 472 equals r squared. Remember, to get rid of that squared, we have to do the opposite of squaring, which is square root. So I'm going to take the square root, that weird check mark division bar thing, and do that on both sides. By doing that, it cancels out the 2. We are left with r. And now we need to find the square root of 472. Remember, you could do this on, there's my doggies, on Google. Type in scientific calculator. And we are going to type this button, looks like a little check mark, square root of, what was it, 472. Okay, 472 equals 21.72. Oops. Yeah, did I say 72 or 27? 72, okay. So when you get a really big decimal like this, we're just going to round to the tenths, this first one. So I'm going to write 21.7, and that's going to be my answer. So 21.7. Ta-da, final answer. All done. That is it. So that is how big it fits in the box. And our answer makes sense because the length of our box is 20 inches. But if we do the diagonal from corner to corner, we're going to get an extra almost 2 inches of 1.7 inches on that diagonal. So our lightsaber can be basically 1.5 inches longer than what the box is. Cool. All right, let's do another one. I think we have time for one more. Hopefully, if I can see the timer. Yep, we got 4 minutes. So let's get this done. So I need length, width, height equals our one that we want. Okay, so we can pick any order of these. So I'm gonna do 4 squared plus 4 squared plus 14 squared equals, let's do D squared. For D for diagonal, even though there's an R here, doesn't matter. We can pick whatever letter we want. So let's solve these. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 4 is 16. I don't know what 14 times 14 is, so let's do 14 times 14 equals 196. So plus 196 equals D squared. Okay, let's add all these together. So I got 196 plus 16 plus 16 equals 228. 228 equals D squared. And let's get rid of that squared by doing the square root on both sides. So let's plug it into the handy dandy calculator. I think we said we could do it on this one's the school one. Where are you? Okay. Oh, it's probably this one. Oh. Wait a minute, is that the number we wanted? 228? Yeah, it is. Hey, look, I did it. Oopsie. Let's do it over here too. Square root 228. Okay, 15, that 9 rounds up to 1, so like 15.1. I mean, if you said 15, I'd be cool with that too. So we're going to say D equals 15.1. Done. All right, 15.1. So, which also, that makes sense for our thing. So the diagonal should not be super, like much longer than the length of the box. See how it's only like maybe an inch longer? Because, I mean, you get more room, but not that much more room. Like, if our answer was, like, 30 inches, like, there'd be a hole in the box. So that wouldn't make sense. So make sure your numbers make sense, and it should be, your diagonal in here should not be smaller than the length of the box either. So make sure you're paying attention to those. Let me know if you have any questions, and have a great day. Bye.